Gotta love real TV. Sucks when this happens. We are here mere minutes away from the start of the 2025-2026 football season. Midnight is so close. It's so close, man. It's within our grasp. We've been waiting here for so long for this moment, man. Counting the Sundays, counting the weeks to get back to football, what we all know and love every Thursday, Sunday, and Monday night. And most of the bettors that are out there, Monday nights when you're trying to recoup a lot of the money you lost on the other two nights. So with that being said, let's get ready. Let's lock in and let's get excited for the 2025-2026 football season. This is episode 1, week 1 of Driving to the Bank. How's everybody doing? It's your boy, the $1 Million Man, John Anthony, a proud SportCoin affiliate, and as always, powered by Zoa Energy. This is Driving to the Bank. If you did not catch our preseason episode a couple weeks back explaining what we do here, our betting, our strategies, our UnderDog Parlay, which brought me a lot of money, and hopefully for everyone else that did it with me, brought you a lot of money as well. Myself, Brian Ringo, and Matt Trigger just had an amazing season prediction show a little bit ago. We broke it all down, all 8 divisions, man. It was good stuff, great banter. Myself, obviously a Niners fan, if you could not tell from the setup around the man cave, ground zero for Chair Shot Sports. Matt being a diehard Ravens fan, and obviously Brian, all the love, everything for the Packers. We're gonna have a great season. All three teams, I think, are gonna be great. And to see all that, go back on our YouTube. If that's what you're watching now, check it out. Check out the NFL season preview that we had a little while ago. Great stuff, great content, and yeah, leave some comments and let me know what's going on. Real quick, man, if y'all don't know, Zach is a mainstay on all of our shows, and always let me know what kind of day it is. For those of you who don't know, if you look at the calendar, it's cookie day, chocolate chip day, ice cream day. Zach always brings the heat, lets me know what's going on. But Zach, the problem is when we do the shows, you tell me too late. I'm not saying DM me all the time, but I need to know what's going on so I can go and celebrate, get some food, get some dessert. It's almost midnight here on the East Coast, man. I'm not going to eat, but it is National Baby Back Ribs Day. Probably celebrate that a little bit tomorrow. I'm not going to lie. But listen, again, like I said, the pre-show that we had a couple weeks ago. Thank you if this is your first time checking us out. This is Driving to the Bank with your boy John Anthony. Listen, last year, a quick synopsis of what we did last season. Almost betting over 75%, getting winners. What we do here, I give you your matchups. I give you the spread. If that's what you bet, if that's what you bet on, if that's what you pick, I give you the spread to let you know. I give you the information. I give you my thoughts on the team, on the matchups, what's going on, and I'll give my picks are money line. Everything we do is money line only, and obviously we have the UnderDog Parlay, which brought us around $5,000 last year, and we hit twice, and we hit that much money. I'll explain a little bit more about that when we get into it. I like to be very specific, very clear about how we do the UnderDog Parlay. A lot of people always have questions about it, but if you listen to what we do, you listen to the knowledge behind it, I'm telling you, you can make yourself a lot of money. So let's get into it, guys. Let's talk about week 1. Week 1 is always one of the biggest, hardest, if you will, weeks to pick. You're going off of last year. You're going off of players that are already there. Obviously, you're looking at trades, veterans who have been brought in, rookies are untested. For those of you that might be in a certain kind of camp and a certain kind of way of thinking, week 1 might just be your week 4 preseason. Obviously, we only have 3 weeks now. Week 1 might be your 4th week of preseason where we get all our starters playing. Everybody get into the playbooks. Everyone figuring out what they're going to do, and especially this is the biggest part for everybody else is the rookies are getting entrenched in the playbooks, in the systems, figuring out what they're going to do on both sides of the ball. So week 1, Does it go off a little bit of last year? Absolutely. But you need to look at the departures, the arrivals. Obviously, when we do these kind of things, there's a lot behind it. The matchups, the schedules, what's going on, who's playing, who's not, where they're at home, is it away, all those kind of things. As we get into week 3, 4, 5, 10, 11, 12, all the way up to the last week, heading into the playoffs, you can catch us here every week, giving you the best opportunity to win yourself a little bit of cash, especially when it comes to underdog parlay. But we'll get into that a little bit. Let's talk about the week 1 matchups. Let's start. Obviously, we're talking about it. We're a couple minutes away here on the East Coast, bringing in the West Coast and the Central into Thursday night football. The first of the year, we have the Cowboys, we have the Eagles. Right now, the Philadelphia Eagles are an 8.5-point favorite, which they should be. This is a tough one to. This is obviously a tough one not to pick. Eagles, this is their game to lose. This is their year to lose. They're coming off being Super Bowl champions, coming off that high. A Cowboys team, obviously with the Parsons dilemma, a lot of stuff going on in that front office, a lot of things going on. Prescott, a lot of pressure under him. I feel like if he's not able to perform this year, he might just be in that hot seat, maybe getting the boot and getting out of there. Jerry Jones saying, "Listen, I can't take this anymore. You're not doing anything for me. All I'm eating is L's year after year after year, especially when it comes into that first round of the playoffs." Prescott has not shown to be that guy who can get them into the divisionals, the championships, and definitely not into that Super Bowl realm. So this is one that's kind of easy one. Again, 8.5-point favorites, the Philadelphia Eagles. I have them going over here, getting that win, and starting the year off right after raising that Lombardi Trophy last year. Then let's go into Friday night, and this is, my friends, is going to be part of me for going on the soliloquy here, getting top of my soapbox. We have the Chiefs and the Chargers. It's a Sao Paulo game right now, as of a little while ago. Right now, Kansas City is only favored by 3.5 points, and that right there should tell you a little bit about what is going on with this team this year. Not a lot of departures, not a lot of arrivals. Kind of bringing back the same team that lost last year in the Super Bowl. Mahomes, Kelsey. You have the usual suspects. When you have those two folks, especially Kelsey being the whoopee, being the safety blanket for Mahomes, being able to get those 5-6 yards when they're down on 2nd and 9, that's what you need. That's what you look for when you look at the Chiefs, and that's why you're like, man. And again, forget the refs, forget all this other crap they talk about. Listen, Mahomes is a winner. Listen, I'm a Niners fan. You think it pains me to say that? It hurts to say that. You need game recognizes game. You need to respect what Patrick Mahomes does get done. They did it last year. They were barely winning games week after week after week. And what happened? And what did it get them? A loss in the Super Bowl when it mattered most. You need to have a defiant and definite win, and they got crushed on national television in the Super Bowl. That 3.5 tells me a little bit. And if you watched the show a little earlier, where I talked with Matt and I talked with Brian, I think this is the year. And please don't take this out of context like I'm shitting all over the team in general. But I think this is the year you see some cracks in Kansas City. Last year, I think put a little doubt in some people's heads, possibly a lot of the fans as well. But man, we got to come back here. We got to show up. We got to show out. We got to go on some crazy 8-9 win run. We got to show Mahomes has to come out and assert the dominance once more that he had for so many years before that. Then there's the Chargers. On defense and on offense have upgraded. And you have a Harbaugh with the cans on his ears calling the plays from the sidelines. Those kind of things are invaluable, unteachable, and variables that make a team that much more dangerous in my eyes. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm gonna go on the limb here. I'm gonna say it, and maybe I'm one of very few, and I'm gonna sit back here and I'm gonna get on my soapbox when it happens. I think the Chargers have a lot to prove. They were awesome ending last year. They had a great ending. They finished very strong. I got the Chargers winning here. Again, not on the spread. The Chiefs are favored 3.5. Okay, but everything's money line here. I got the Chargers winning here. I think they eke it out. I'm not saying it's going to be a blowout win by 14, 21 points, 14, 15, 16 points, whatever. It's going to be a field goal. Might be 7 points. Might be a touchdown at the end of the game. I don't know. But I think the Chargers come out here. They set the tone. I picked the Chargers to win the division in the West. Be perfectly honest with you. That's how I see it going down the AFC. I think they unthrown the Chiefs. I think that the Chiefs are one game below that. They come in second place. They still make the playoffs. If you want to see the entire breakdown of why I think the playoffs roll out all the way to the Super Bowl in Santa Clara, please go check out our show that we had a little bit ago. Um, so that being said, Chargers here, they walk away with a win, I guess upset win if you will. Early on in the season, week one. But again, week one, if you look at it a certain way, you can honestly sit here and go, well, technically, it's kind of still the fourth preseason. Teams are feeling each other out. And the Chiefs take an L here. Then obviously that was looking past them. They're not looking at it as, oh, it's over for Kansas City. But it looks like the Chargers kind of we're better prepped for week one, playing Kansas City going into that game in Sao Paulo. Then we go into obviously a very near and dear game to me, the 49ers taking on the Seattle Seahawks. Right now, San Francisco is favored at 2.5 points. Week one, week two, and week three are always very, very close in points when it comes to some heavyweights, especially divisional rivalries. Great teams against even like subpar teams, if you will, middle of the road. You'll still see points that are kind of still a little skewed until you get to week 5, 6, 7, where we know what the offenses can do. They're that potent. They're showing up. They're showing out, putting the teams down that they need to put out, right? So with that being said, obviously the Niners not going to deny it, not going to be like I'm blind to it, are very beat up. Ayuk is out. A lot of folks are out. Offensively, we're hurting. Defensively, and on the offensive line, we're hurt right now. Brock Purdy, obviously coming off being the $1 million man, the $285 million man to be more precise, has a lot of pressure on him to come out here and perform and be the quarterback San Francisco 49ers need moving into the future on a great 5-year deal that he inked in the offseason. Jennings just recently added about $3 million a year in playtime guarantees. So instead of playing for 7.5, he's playing for 10.5, which is good. We need more of that. Obviously, Ricky's out there doing what he needs to do. A lot of rookies, but I think Brock is a game changer. You can't teach that kind of stuff. Brock has been kind of groomed on the fact of being Mr. Irrelevant, always having to prove himself and doing what he needs to do in the games. But also too defensively. Salah on the sidelines defensively makes me feel so much better in situations like this when the offense is going to be lacking. The defense will keep the team in the game until Brock can break it out, figure it out. Running style wise, CMC's here all day, baby. We got Williams on the defensive side, CMC offensively, whether he's coming out of the backfield, coming out of the slot, he's going to get the job done. The Niners, the Seahawks have a lot of things going on over there. Darnold at quarterback. Defensively wise, I will not even put it past the Seahawks, man. They're going to be out there. They're going to do a lot of damage. Offensively, leaves for me a little bit more to be desired. And you see a little bit more going on in the divisions. We get to weeks 2, 3, 4, and 5. Out the gate, not even being a homer about it. I think San Francisco has enough weapons this week one. They're prepared. They're ready to go. Shanahan's going to have them ready. Salah's going to have that defense ready to go, fighting, nipping at the opportunity to get in there and hit people, get that ball, get it back to the offense, and that offense putting points on the board. And obviously, it needs to be touchdowns because Moody is a very, very big variable in the kicking game at this point. We'll see how everything turns out. But right now, got to tell you, Niners walk out of there. They get the win. Nothing crazy, not a big win, but it's going to be something where you look and go, okay, great. We see who's in the driver's seat as of right now in the NFC West. Speaking of the NFC West, let's stay with the Arizona Cardinals taking on the Saints. As of right now, Arizona is favored by 6.5 points, which makes 1,000% sense. Say what you want about the Cardinals. Connor Murray, they're going to have a great year offensively. Obviously, Marvin Harrison's out there catching balls. It's going to be great for them. The Saints have a lot of things going on. A lot of things going on. I get Kamara's out there. That is your offense, though. That is your offense. And that scares me, and it's hard for me to even pick a team like that. It's very one-dimensional. Doesn't have a lot of weapons really put out there, and when things get shut down, especially the run, what do you do after that? Need to see some more reps on that as we get into weeks 2 through 6. So the Cardinals walk out of there with a win. Another NFC West team walking out. Dolphins, Colts. We should switch it back over to the AFC. Indy right now, this is going to end up being a pick 'em right now, I'm telling you. Indy's favored by 1.5. And Dolphins and Colts have a lot of things going on. The Colts, I mean, what are you going to do? You get Jones as your quarterback. And the Dolphins, I mean, you got a coach that's on the hot seat before we even kick off week 1. A lot of things going down in Miami. Indianapolis has a lot of things figuring out too as well. And their offensive side, defensively wise, either team, uh, not really a lot to write home about. Nothing's really going to be a stout standout kind of showing on week one. They're going to have to figure out as they go. But at the end of the day, I think the Dolphins have a little bit more, especially with Tua starting at quarterback. I think he is that difference maker in a game like this against two teams, I should say, where it's kind of a pick 'em. I think the Dolphins get the win here and notch that first win over the AFC East. Raiders, Patriots, staying in the AFC East with the Patriots. I had a bold prediction a little earlier today. I have the Patriots taking second place behind the Buffalo Bills. I have them winning 11 games. Matt didn't like it. Brian kind of looked at me a little weird. I'm telling you, Vrabel is a difference maker. This man, you go there, you drink the Kool-Aid. Not Bill Belichick wise, it's not a do your job kind of atmosphere, but Mike Vrabel will get you in line. If you're there, you do the job or you get the hell out. He's this man's jumping into scrums at practices when they're doing matchup drills with each other. Man is jumping in scrums before the players. Disgusting, sick things that like you as a coach, there's no way as a player you can ever come at your coach if you didn't jump into that pile. My man's grabbing you by the collar saying, "Where were you? Why was I in the bottom of that pile? Where the hell were you?" So that kind of energy, that kind of leadership is what I think this New England Patriots team needs, especially after coming off of Brady and coming after Belichick. But last year there's a good 3 games I can probably name where they didn't have the coaching and the discipline to win those games. I think those kind of 3 games are where Vrabel is the difference maker and they win those games. Drake May, I think, has grown a lot from last year. I think they have a better line around him. Say what you want about Diggs, man. Stephon Diggs, a lot of people are clowning on him. I know week one, he is playing, it is official. A lot of people are like, oh, what are we going to get? He's coming off the so he's obviously older. It's his fourth spot. Matt Trigger talked about a little bit on our show earlier today. And I get it. I get it. I get um, the stigma, the just the overall reputation of Diggs. But I think stepping into New England again with Vrabel at the helm, Vrabel had that conversation with Diggs, like, listen, you come to me one time and complain about you not getting the ball from this guy, you're out of here. And Diggs is not getting any younger. It is his fourth stop. Needs to have a great year. Yeah, it's not going to be the passes every down. He needs to have a great year consistently, team player. Maybe the Pats do make a deep run. I'm not saying Super Bowl or championship, anything like that. But let's say they make a wild card. Maybe they make a run to the division. Who knows? Stranger things have happened. Buffalo has been known to falter down the road. So that being said, Raiders, Patriots. Patriots right now are favored by 2.5. That's a little low for me against the Raiders, but a lot of people are kind of high on the Raiders, especially with Tom being over there with some ownership and stake in that team, being down there on the sidelines, talking to people, seeing what's going on. But I got the Patriots walking out here. Solid week one win, kind of setting the tone for their season, what they need to do, especially with a Bills team that's going to come out here and blow doors on a lot of teams. They need to keep up if they're going to even sniff the wild card, let alone division. Let's stay over at the AFC and obviously the AFC East. We got the Steelers and the Jets. Right now, Pittsburgh is favored by 2.5. Again, a big topic tonight on the show. Can Aaron Rodgers figure it out? Can he not be an issue? Can he get out of his own way, put the ego away, and figure these things out and be the difference and help a team excel and get into the playoffs? Pittsburgh has always been successful. What I mean by that is I'm not saying playoffs, Super Bowl appearance, anything like that, but always over the 500 mark. Underrated coaching, always a solid, good team that's there at the end. That's the one where you're watching Week 15, and Fox is putting up the division winners winning in the wild card, then in the hunt. And Pittsburgh's always in the hunt, man. So I think this might be a different year. Again, I said it earlier. If Rodgers can stay healthy, he can put the ego away, have his little dark state, little drug induced sessions, and figure it all out, and kind of figure out how to get this team together and put some wins together. Mike Tomlin, obviously tried and true. I think one of the biggest underrated coaches in the NFL. does what he needs to do year in, year out, week in, week out. I think if Aaron opens his ears a little bit more and Tomlin does what he does, what he's been doing for years down there, he they could get this team possibly into a division race. Not saying it'll happen, but again, stranger things have happened. This is week one, folks. Week seven might be sitting here. I'm never picking the Steelers again. We're just always picking against them. But week one is always going off of last year, the arrivals, the departures, and what I see. Obviously, going to strength the schedule, where they are, things like that. So Steelers, I think, eke it out here. I don't think it's going to be that easy. I think Fields has a chip on his shoulder. Definitely wants to go in there and show up. For New York, I think it's going to be close, but Pittsburgh ekes it out. All right, so NFC Giants, Commanders. Washington right now is favored by 6.5. I feel like that is going to go up the next couple of days. It probably goes to 8, 8.5. Giants. There's nothing I can really say here that hasn't been said by anyone else. They're bombed out. They're depleted. Daniel Jones obviously has left there, and Saquon Barkley's gone, and the Giants just get whatever they got coming to them for just not building on the right players and just kind of shipping everyone out and trying to bank on other things. I don't know. At the end of the day, Commanders are not starting this year off 0-1. Jaden Daniels is going to continue exactly where he led off in an amazing season last year, all the way to the NFC Championship. Commanders get this win here. I think they win big walking out of there out of week one, heading into week two with a lot of momentum and definitely that swagger I think they need over there, especially with Debo and a couple other additions on the offense. Panthers, Jaguars. This is a weird game because Panthers, Jags, I feel like Trevor Lawrence, a lot of people will say he's not a great quarterback. I think he's kind of figured some things out year over year over year. There were the new OC there, kind of the quarterback whisperer. Maybe he helps Trevor ascend maybe to a couple more wins, get a little better as far as reads, things like that. Panthers dead in the water. I'm sorry. Nothing against Bryce. Just this is not the year. Still some building to do. Still got to figure some things out. Jags get the win here. They are favored by 3.5. I think they win by a little bit more than that. But money line wise, Jags get a win here. Bengals, Browns. Cincinnati's favored by 5.5. Browns again. This year is going to be. I mean, we got Flacco going out there starting week one. The Browns have a lot of things to figure out. A lot of stuff going on in that team. I'm sure in that front office. The chemistry can't be that great. The morale's I'm sure a little beat up. But we look on the other side. You got a Joe Burrow who is very determined. Sick of sitting here and like starting off strong, missing playoffs, not able to get the job done and get this team where they need to go. With a great ensemble offensively. But I think the Bengals start off the right way this year. They get that win against the Browns. They start 1-0, and we'll see what happens as the weeks progress. But I think Burrow gets a really good win he needs here coming out the gate and getting that 1-0 victory. Buccaneers, Falcons. Tampa Bay is right now favored at 2.5. Penix, I think, is going to surprise a lot of people. I think it's going to be a good offensively balanced team. Obviously, you have Robinson in the back. For what Penix can't do, you have Robinson just knocking doors down of what this guy can do running wise. I think he went top 2, top 3 in most fantasy draft leagues this year. So a lot of pressure on him, not just to perform. Obviously, I'm sure these folks don't really put a lot of stake into that fantasy wise, but they know in themselves and in their team a lot of expectations to come out there, blow it up, and lead this team to a 2-3 wins out the gate. Get that momentum going. But the Bucs, man, listen, I told you guys last year plenty of times, probably week 10 to week 16. Baker Mayfield was my dark horse MVP for the longest time all year. The stats don't lie. The man was amazing. So he had at least 3 or 4 comeback wins in the latter part of the year. The man's out here throwing 300, 400, 500 yards a game. Stats don't lie, numbers don't either. And he was a great asset in the quarterback role for Tampa Bay. You still got Mike Evans. You got Buckley. You got a lot of things going on over there on their offense. I think they keep it going, and I think it's going to be close. The 2.5 line on this game, I can get behind that if you're doing money line. That's close. And a lot of these ones I think might get a little closer as we get closer to Friday and Saturday and Sunday, obviously. But I think the Bucs walk away here. They get that number one. They get that number one, the most important one. You can't win them all unless you win the first, right? So I think Baker goes out there and he leads that team to a win. They just kind of keep the momentum going as we head into the rest of the season. Tennessee Titans and the Broncos. The Titans again. Denver right now is favored at 8.5. This is probably going to go up, maybe 9.5, possibly even 10. Denver, a big fan of Bo Nix. You got a Bo Leave in Bo Nix. I said it almost every week last year. Bo Leave, baby. And Bo Nix is gonna get even better. But like Matt brought up on our show earlier, in our season prediction show, the film is out. The film is out on Sean Payton. The film is out on Bo Nix. Defenses are going to know now what to expect and what they're going to do in certain situations. But I'm sure Payton obviously already has Bo kind of lined up for that kind of stuff and ready to do some new things. Denver, it remains to be seen what they do this year. I think they're going to be. I don't think it. I guess a step back. I guess only because it's a sophomore slump. And not saying Bo's going to go out there and kind of shit the bed, but he'll definitely go out there, maybe have a little more hiccups than he thought he did this year. The man can run, though. He keeps that running stuff going on and bootlegs and things like that when he gets a little bit in trouble when it's needed. Bo Nix could be a great quarterback over in the AFC. I'm excited to see it, but they definitely do get the win here against the Titans. The Titans have a lot of things going on: quarterback, running back, offensive, defensive, a lot of things for the Titans to figure out. So Broncos walk out of here. They get that win in week 1. Lions and Packers. This is a tough pick for me. Right now the Packers are favored by 2.5. I think Jordan Love is going to have his best year yet, putting everything he's done together as an amazing team around him. Yes, Parsons obviously on the defensive side. Team wise and record wise, I think this team is going to do some damage, serious damage defensively. If you're a Green Bay fan, get excited, which I'm sure all of you were when you saw that trade go through. But the Lions are still the Lions. Dan Campbell is not going to let this team lie down, as is the mantra with him. I saw a lot of people at the end of the year and over the offseason talking about how the message is getting stale. The players aren't buying into it. I got to push back on that. I got to say, listen, it's Dan effing Campbell, guys. Like we gotta give credit where credit is due. The man gets the job done. He delivers a great message. I think these players run through walls for him. I don't think we're done with this yet. I know 2 years ago the Niners knocked them out. Big second half disaster. Implosion for the Lions. Great for my team, obviously, but the Chiefs obviously walked away with the title that year. So I think the Lions were a little bit maybe shell shocked. Maybe that was probably the opportunity for the Lions to go to the Super Bowl. Would they have lost to the Chiefs? I don't want to say probably. Good chance. But that was kind of I think it kind of knocked them off their axle a little bit. But I think Dan Campbell's going to get them back, get them right, get them focused. And as much as this kills me, Brian, I'm sorry, man. I love you, man. Week 1, I'm not. It's gonna be close, and I hate to say it because I don't want to see Jordan Love lose these kind of games. I think the Lions come out. They have a statement to make. Dan Campbell's going to make sure this team, everyone knows they're still here. They're still here to play. They're a big time contender, and they're looking for the playoffs, and they're hungry for it. They're not just taking a kneecap. They're not just taking a hip or a hand, whatever the hell they do. They're going for playoffs. They're going for a Super Bowl. I think Detroit ekes out a win here. That again, Green Bay by 2.5. Good call if you play about the spread. Vegas has this one on lock. But money line wise, I got Detroit Lions walking out of here by the skin of their teeth with a win against the Packers. Texans, Rams jump over into a little mix of the AFC, NFC, obviously the NFC West. Right now, the Rams are favored 3.5. Again, Texans, CJ is figuring it out, and I think it's going to be a great performance. I think he might take a little much on himself to start the year. I see if he gets in trouble, maybe running a little more, not passing the ball as he should. This is going to fall right into the Rams, what they want, into how they're going to play their game, their style. The Rams also, too, I have them taking third place in the NFC West under the Cardinals. And I know a lot of you are like, what did you just say? Listen, if you want to know about why I picked them second after the Niners, you got to go watch the NFL prediction show, NFL season prediction show we just had a little while ago over on our YouTube and on our X. But I got the Rams here, man. It's a 3.5 line, money line. That's a good call. But money line wise, I'm sorry, 3.5 on the parlay. I'm sorry, spread. Got everything going through my head when I want to talk about in week 1. Money line wise, I have the Rams winning, getting that 1-0. Ravens, Bills. This is a sticking point for me. This is a tough game, and the spread tells you that. It's a 1.5 point spread. The Bills are favored, and I'm telling you, that's only because the Bills are at home. They were in Baltimore. Baltimore would have the favorite. Just got done talking about this with Matt Trigger over at We Bleed Purple. If you've not tuned in, him and Coach Wilcox, former Baltimore Ravens player, they have an amazing podcast all year round. Just wrapped up their preseason shakedown of cuts, things like that. Go check them out. Um, Go check them out, man. Awesome, awesome stuff. Everything Baltimore Ravens. Amazing show. Matt's amazing. Coach Wilcox. They're amazing together. They've been doing it for a long time. Great, great stuff. Highly recommend. 5 stars. And I like the Bills. Josh Allen needs a year to break out. He needs one. Because every year, but I feel like in the AFC, it's the same thing every year. Baltimore, Buffalo, all these teams, they just need the one to break through. The Chargers, who always ends up knocking them, kicking them in the teeth, knocking them off the mountain, Mahomes and the Chiefs. And this goes back to what I said on the show about who's going to take the division. It goes back to my pick on Friday night, and hey, happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome to the 2025-2026 NFL season. We are just maybe, 12, 17, 18 hours away from kickoff. Very, very excited for Cowboys Eagles. But back to the game. I think what happened last year, and I'm not throwing shade at anybody, don't want to go into the whole thing about it, but when Allen took the MVP, if you're Lamar Jackson, you see that, you put the chip on your shoulder and you use it through your off season, using your workouts, you're using the preseason, you use it your entire season to get back to that shot of Bills Ravens in a championship game, and you get the bestest man and show that you are the better quarterback, you have the better team, and you should be playing in the Super Bowl. Matt has some great points about the Ravens, about Lamar Jackson, what happens if there's another losing season, meaning they don't make it to the Super Bowl. It's not going to be a losing season. I think the Ravens are going to run away with their division. But Bills are favored here. I got to pick the Ravens, man. I think Lamar comes out here and he's got probably a buck something on rushing. He gets it done. Henry's going to go wild, fresh out the gate. He cannot wait to run it so people knock him over. I think all that spells disaster for the Buffalo Bill fans, and Josh Allen having to go back to that drawing board, started going 1, especially in a division AFC East. We are looking to a lot of people are picking them to run away, which is why I sit here and I tell you I think the Pats are going to do a little bit more damage than what a lot of people think when it comes to the division and the wild card in the AFC East. Then we go down to Monday Night Football. We have the Minnesota Vikings and the Chicago Bears. Right now, again, wild line. Minnesota's favored by 1.5. Now, J.J. McCarthy is going to have some growing pains. Unfortunately, he had his injury last year. He's going to come out, obviously, his first year here. I'm sure he's very ready, worked through this all off season, worked in the preseason. Looked okay in the preseason. Nothing I'm getting blown away with, and they telling you that Minnesota is going to, right off into the sunset. And if you watched last year, you know I am not a fan of Caleb Williams. I think he's overrated. I think he's a little soft. Could be a little bit of a leader when it comes to the team, the offense, everything in general, what he needs to be as a quarterback for a National Football League team. But with all that being said, it is the Vikings. It is J.J. McCarthy in year 1. Caleb Williams is in year 2. He does have weapons with him in Chicago. So, I got to go with the Bears here, guys. Caleb Williams has a little bit of experience. He has a little bit more fortitude. If it does get a little tough, he knows what to do now. Maybe not run so much. Maybe throw a little more. They did look decent toward the end of the year in 2025. Excuse me. 2024. So we will see what happens. But I have the Bears walking out. Again, on the money line. Bears walking out, get that 1-0 to start the year. So, this is the cool part. This is the fun part. I cannot wait to do this every week when I do my picks. The most important, the most fun thing I do is this UnderDog Parlay. There's one part of this video you watch. You're watching right now and you're like, oh, I just jumped in. This is what I want you to do. First of all, this UnderDog Parlay this week and every week this season is brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. Exclusively, all our bets are made on the DraftKings Sportsbook. So thank you again, DraftKings, for always being an amazing vessel for us to make all these bets and make a lot of money. So, the UnderDog Parlay. If you did not know, did not see, our preseason special, talking about everything we do. Let me explain the Underdog Parlay to you that we do every week. I take 5 teams. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams. 7 points or less, the underdogs in their games. Now, again, this is not just a pick 'em. There's science involved in it. There's obviously record. There's players. Again, it's almost the same thing. Conditions, home, away, players that are playing, who's on the IR, who's not, who's a game time decision, who's trending, who's hot, who's all this other stuff. A lot goes into it. Last year, made a little over $5,000. I hit twice. So twice out of 18 weeks. Now, again, is it going to hit every week? Absolutely not. I'm picking Vegas knows a lot better than what I do. Because if I knew better than Vegas, I would not be in front of this microphone in front of you in this house. Being a way bigger house, way better setup, a way bigger studio. That's the goal to get to. Again, thank you, DraftKings. With that being said, $25. What you're going to spend on a pizza, a 4-pack of your favorite IPA brew, man. Listen, I make the bet with you. I make it. I'm going to put it up tomorrow. I do it tonight because I want people to obviously see this. I probably shouldn't put it up on X when I do, but unfortunately, I want people. Sometimes the Thursday night games involved. I want people to have time to bet, get it in, and all that other stuff, and see what we want to do. Again, it hit twice. It's a lot of money. It's an underdog parlay. $25 on 5 underdogs. Win hit is going to make you a lot of money. Now, whatever you do with that bet is yours. Now, 4 out of the 5 teams hit. It's a $3,000 payout, and you have 4 teams, and it's $1,000 sitting there on a payout waiting for Monday night. By all means, cash out. What you do after I give you the bets is up to you. I don't care. We're gonna write it out. Hashtag no payouts. Write it out. Last year I did one. I would have hit 3 times, and I don't mind talking about it. It was almost a TV breakable kind of moment. I don't remember what week it was. The Steelers were down by 14. It was the end of the third, and 4 of my 5 teams were hitting. It was like a $2,500 bet. I cashed out. I made $300. The Steelers came back and won late in the fourth. Would have made a shit ton of money. Probably made almost $8,000 in the year with all 3 and hit 3 times on the parlay. So let that be a word of the wise. But whatever you do is what it is. So let me get back on track. So 5 teams, $25. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I make the bet with you. I'll put my bet up on X. I put it on Instagram. I put it on TikTok. And again, I use DraftKings. If you use FanDuel, other things like that, I can't tell you that the odds are going to be the same. The money's going to be the same. So I do encourage everyone to use the DraftKings Sportsbook because you're getting the same odds I'm getting. But again, it's $25. I'm not guaranteeing anything. I'm not paying you back if you don't hit. But and again, when I do miss, it's 3 out of the 4 teams will hit. 4 out of the 5 teams will hit. That's the most frustrating. I'd rather none hit. But a lot of weeks, 4 out of the 5 hit. It's that one team that just can't get it done, and they can't eke it out. Time runs out, and they don't get it. So again, I get nothing for this. DraftKings, they are not a paid sponsor from us. I just like to get it all out of the way before people think I'm shilling or something like that. But it is exclusively used by us here at Chair Shot Sports, and I just had to give them a shout out because, like I said, we had a good amount of money last year. I'm only spending 25 times 18? Yeah, not a lot of money. I made a lot, so can't be mad about that. So, with that being said, let me give you week 1, our first underdog parlay of the 2025-2026 season. I have the Chargers, the Dolphins, the Lions, the Ravens, and the Bears. And if you'll notice, some of those teams are teams that I picked in the actual picks because I feel that these folks are going to win. They just happen to be the obviously underdogs. I'm going to put them in the parlay. It happens sometimes, some weeks. This week, all the teams that I have in the parlay, I actually picked in my regular week picks. Again, week 1 is difficult. The spreads are little. You're going off of a lot of things from last year. Data for this year is not yet there. You'll see that week 2, 3, 4, and 5. We'll get there. So I'm relying on a lot of, again, the departures and the arrivals, obviously matchups, who's home, who's away, weather conditions. You got to look at the spread because Vegas, if Vegas is keeping it tight, it's going to be a tight game and kind of makes things a little bit easier with the underdog parlay. So, and obviously I'm out here this week. if you bet the $25, which I will bet with you, or you'll bet with me, I should say. I've already made the bet. I have a screenshot. I'm going to throw it up there later on tomorrow morning, or I should say later on this morning, for 25 little dollars. Scratch some. Go to your couch, man. Go check the cushions. You'll find a couple bucks. You can get to that 25. I have faith. I know you can do it. $1,015.39 for $25. If you want to do the cash out thing and 4 year 5 hit and you're sitting there at $300, cash out. You know what I mean? But week one, it's really close. The Chargers are, I like to give the spread as well for a lot of people. The Chargers are 3.5 dogs. Dolphins 1.5 dogs. Lions 2.5. Ravens 1.5. Bears 1.5. These games are going to be close. This week one and week two are probably the best chances for you to hit on the UnderDog Parlay because a lot of things can happen. Both teams are filling each other out. They might catch the other team sleeping. We'll see what happens. But again, the UnderDog Parlay, $25 every week. Five teams, underdog, 7 points or less. DraftKings Sportsbook. I bet with you. You bet with me. You make a lot of money. This week, $25 for the Chargers, the Dolphins, the Lions, the Ravens, and the Bears. All are under 4 points. Underdogs. Very close games. You can make $1,015.39. So, again, great week. Great odds. Great odds. That's why it's not a lot of money. One of the weeks I won, it was $25. I hit for almost $2,600. Again, there's some luck in it as well. There's a very big luck aspect to it as well, but you got to know your teams. Again, we give you the stats, and we're picking 70-something%, man. Good luck finding that anywhere else on a bookie or things like that. I'm not charging you anything. I'm just talking out here. Like it's on YouTube. I put my picks on X every Sunday. Well, I put them on Thursday so everyone can see it. And I pin it. It's out there. Go look. Go check my X last year. Go see what we did. We weren't losing less than 12 games until week 5. Like it is what it is. That's the beauty of YouTube. It's the beauty of X. The receipts are out there. No one's deleting anything. It's all out there. I'm not talking out of my ass. I want to make you some money. I'm making money. I'm helping support my family. Paying for some rent, paying for some trips, paying for some wrestling stuff. For those of you who don't know, obviously, Chair Shot Sports is a big wrestling channel as well. We do a lot of that stuff. I go to a lot of events, including sporting events as well. But that money goes to a lot of great causes, especially my bills. So shout out to you, Necker and Eversource. So I know this show's a little late tonight. Obviously, we had our NFL season preview with Matt Trigger and with Brian Ringo from Cheesehead Pod, and obviously over at We Bleed Purple. So that being said, the show will be on every Wednesday, probably between 7 and 8. Probably you guys can catch it live. You'll see the advertisements on X. So yeah, let's have some fun. Listen, this is the second year doing this. Last year was really successful, probably a little more successful than I thought it would be. Guess I'm really good at picking teams. But listen, I'm just an average guy taking $25 a week, doing the UnderDog Parlay. Every week I put $2 up. I pick all the games. When it's $2, you're picking all the games to win. It pays out like $5,000. Am I ever gonna be perfect? Maybe once in a blue moon I'll hit for one. But take my picks what they are. Again, it's data driven, history, home and away, weather, all that good stuff. There's no system. There's no anything like that. I'm not going to have to call a 1-800 number. I can tell you this. I'm more successful than not. If you want to make some money and you want some idea and some clarity on a game you maybe not sure about, tune in, man. We're here together. We're here to make some money together. That's all we're here to do. If I can help you, all the better. But definitely get on the UnderDog Parlay, especially this week, man. I'm telling you, I got a feeling. This week. I'm looking at the teams and I'm looking at the matchups. I'm feeling good. And hopefully, if you join me, we bet the $25. We're all walking out here a little over $1,000 to kick off week one. And just think about that. If you do this the rest of the year with me, hit $1,000, you can take $300 out and play with house money the rest of the year and not have to worry about anything else. Any other money you win, it's all gravy, baby. So, with that being said, folks, thank you so much for tuning in to week one. Driving to the Bank with your boy, the $1 Million Man, John Anthony. I'm excited, man. It's one sleep away. I'm going to go to bed and wake up very, very excited to have some football on my television. The football that counts. Nothing against XFL, nothing against preseason, but baby, we are back. We are here. the NFL. I'm ready for it. Let's head all the way, all roads, go over that bridge, that beautiful golden bridge over in California, baby, and bring us all to Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. So with that being said, folks, thank you so much for joining me. I'm your boy, the $1 Million Man, John Anthony. I will talk to all of you this weekend on X, talking about our wins. Hopefully more wins than losses. You can catch me next week, next Wednesday, talking about week 2 and reviewing everything that happened this week. Grab some popcorn, get a cold beverage, and make sure you hit up the sports book over on DraftKings. Hit down that $25 for the UnderDog Parlay. Let's make some money.